On Trendz Travel this week, we indulge in a decadent afternoon tea, immersing ourselves in inspiring stories of remarkable women. Since we are still celebrating exceptional restaurants, we visit one luxurious country estate that is surrounded by nothing but the beauty of nature. We create memories that last a lifetime with a bubble picnic experience.
One thing we'll do on this show, it is to celebrate and appreciate. We decided to wake up this morning and come to the Joburg Midrand for an afternoon tea event hosted for women by a very well-known skincare brand. It is just to motivate, appreciate, pamper, and empower women. I'm not just talking about any women here. I'm talking about a high quality, high caliber of women. Take a look.
I am Itumeleng Ukwi, and then I'm the founder of Them Shoes RSA.
My name is Sonke Nkwane. I am a brand ambassador. My company name is Sonke Styles.
My name is Buleng March. I'm a gospel artist from Joy Celebration, but now an independent artist with 2 albums and a founder of Makote Nkosim.
You know what, being an entrepreneur is not child's play. I always say being an entrepreneur is a calling. You have to definitely chase your purpose. Otherwise, you won't make it because there's a lot of rejection involved. There's a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of sacrifice as well. And I believe the only way you overcome it is to remember why you started. The vision matters the most. So you need to see the end from the beginning. Where you want to be, that is what will take you forward.
We touched on rising above uncertainty and making sure that you always keep your dreams alive. For you, what does that mean and how do you do it?
So for me, it means that somebody has walked the path that I'm on, especially a woman, and that's the reason why I was here today, to take it from the people that are already ahead, and then listening to them saying these are some of the challenges that they faced, and me working in that same journey. I mean, I'm able to see that it's not just Itumeleng that's going through this. So uncertainty is just something you have to take with a pinch of salt, but it's something that you also have to embrace for you to go further in business.
I'm excited about this event as well. It just reminded me, okay, girl, you're on the right track. You heard right. We need to rise. We need to stand as women and trust who God has called us to be.
What does it take for you to rise through uncertainties?
We always have to run somewhere, to someone, to a higher power. And for me, it's prayer. I go down on my knees. I was raised by a praying woman from Umkuku to now being a woman who has built a house, who's now helping other women as well, who's standing as an independent artist. So I think prayer keeps me, and just surrounding myself with positive women who speaks life into my vision, into my life, and learning from them so that I can speak also life into their visions and to what they believe in.
What keeps me going, to be quite honest with you, Jim, keeps me going because it speaks to my inner being. So it just makes me come out of the pain of whatever that I'm facing. Then it makes things easy for me.
It's my family support. I mean, support from my husband, from my parents. I have such a huge support base, and I think with just that, I'm able to basically overcome exactly any uncertainty or failure.
We are approaching summer, it's gonna be burning hot. So how do you take care of this beautiful skin?
I drink water so that anything and any toxins in my stomach acid, it just goes out, flushes out. I eat a lot of fruits. I also use sunscreen. That one is number 1.
I'm from the Northern Cape. It's very hot in the Northern Cape. I saw that she released the sunscreen. I think that will work for us, the Northern Cape girls, and us, me, because I'm always performing. I'm always on the road, on stages, and in festivals. We are on stages, and it's hot. So sunscreen.
What you take in is how you look like. So it's very important to eat healthy food, eat a healthy, balanced diet, drink lots and lots of water.
I believe in embracing the natural beauty, and I mean, no offense at all to the people who love makeup. That's who they are and that's what they love, and I am for that as well. But I'm also for natural beauty, and this is Itumeleng. I think I was born this way, and I want to maintain the natural beauty that I do have.
Do you think that, in your opinion, because we can't state it as a fact, being natural, not applying all this things we put on our faces to enhance our beauty also helps keep the skin fresh and beautiful.
100%. I mean, today you find that, not even today, I think you find some women sometimes sleeping in makeup, and health advisors do say it's not good for your skin. Your skin needs to breathe. So for me, if for my skin to glow, it needs to breathe. Why not let it breathe every day?
You know what? Being an entrepreneur is not child's play. I always say being an entrepreneur is a calling. You have to definitely chase your purpose. Otherwise, you won't make it, because there's a lot of rejection involved. There's a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of sacrifice as well. And I believe the only way you overcome it is to remember why you started. The vision matters the most. So you need to see the end from the beginning, where you want to be. That is what will take you forward.
Your product is available in over, if I'm not exaggerating, 4,000 stores. How do you get to that level?
It does take a lot of patience, a lot of fortitude, a lot of persistence, and not taking no as an answer. And no means go and try again and come back and knock again. You should never give up, especially if you are clear about the dream that I've seen this and I know this will make a difference in somebody's life.
Different speakers took to a podium to entertain, acknowledge, and uplift all attendees. This really was a motivational afternoon high tea with the ladies. And also remember to dance, it keeps the skin healthy.
A true chic country establishment, a perfect getaway spot when you want to break away from the hustle and bustle of the city life. Here, gardens are beautifully manicured and the scenery is the cherry on top. The breeze from the tall evergreen trees, as well as the sound of the beds and dams, sends you into a tranquil state.
We moved onto this farm 32 years ago with our 3 children in tow, wanting to actually get a taste of country life. So we had some sheep and we did the usual things that farmers do, but we were also at the time working in Joburg, so it was a lot of traveling. And then we saw the potential that there was with the dams and the water. It was actually a whole lot of dried out dongas that were here. And the original river course used to flow down, but then broke in about the 1930s, and all the water flooded and went straight through to Bronkhorstspruit Dam. So we actually got permission with the Water Affairs to rehabilitate the old river course and allow the water into the old meandering thing, and that's where the name Oxbow comes from.
What do people see when they come here?
Well, I think the gardens really just wow them. I think when you're coming down a road and you think, where am I going? And then at the end there's there's this oasis at the end, just absolutely little piece of paradise. And it looks like the Natal Midlands, but it's right here in Gauteng.
Tell us a bit about the different gardens that you have here.
Okay, so we've actually tried a lot to get in indigenous trees, but this is very much grassland. So in the Highveld, you probably know that we have severe frost. So the winters really are difficult here. So we've planted in between, even though we have got some exotics, we've planted indigenous trees in, so eventually that they will actually survive the winter and we can remove the exotic trees. But our vegetable garden is a fully organic vegetable garden. Lots of fruit trees, berry trees, all the vegetables that we use for our weddings. So we actually cut and source the freshest ingredients to go into our cooking. And then we companion plant with different flowers or combinations of vegetables so that everything complements each other, grows better, tastes better. So our food is always really recommended and always commented on, so we know that we give a really great product.
The location intentionally provides an ultimate exclusivity to your unique celebration or occasion.
We specialize in weddings. We do all sorts of weddings, different religions, different cultures, etc. So it's really a celebration of two people coming together. We can either host at our outdoor pavilion. We can seat up to 80 people on the pavilion, and then we set chairs on the sides of the garden as well. And for me, it's my absolute favorite. I love a wedding down at the pavilion, especially when you get to ring the bell as the bride walks down. We've also got our indoor chapel, which can accommodate up to 250 guests seated. And then after the I-dos, they move into the reception area, our beautiful venue. Again, can seat up to 250 guests. And yeah, it's just celebrating two people falling in love and coming together. When we take our couples on their site visits, when they come and visit us, that's the one thing that they absolutely fall in love with, is our grounds and the bridges and the plenty of photo opportunities that we do have. We've got the Oxbow Bridge, we've got our White Bridge, we've got our Wishing Well. The couples actually get 2 golf carts to drive around with their photographers and videographers, because there's just so much beauty and landscape for them to explore.
Wow.
But not only weddings, we also do functions, year-end functions, 50th, 60th. I think this year is really, 50 is like the big celebration this year. It's the thing.
It's the new 30.
50 is the new 30. So we do all sorts of celebrations, baby showers. So yeah, it's just really a celebration about love and life. There's other things that we do, not just primarily weddings and functions. We've got all sorts of other things, which Tolo's going to tell us about.
So we've got conferencing areas, we've got so many, the thing is, as you can see, there's so many venues or areas where we can do indoor, outdoor events. We've got a Boma where some of our conference delegates will come and sleep over here, have their conferences. We have team building activities available from suppliers as well. So we're a one-stop shop basically. So whether it's a conference, a wedding, and we have an amazing Sunday restaurant, so where we host breakfast and lunches as well, and also special functions sometimes on a Sunday for intimate numbers. We can do birthdays, christenings, and all those sorts of things. So there's plenty to do here for different people.
Truly, nature never goes out of style. It always leaves you fulfilled and refreshed.
Picnics are back, the only fun and inexpensive way to spend time with family, friends, or even lovers, just to enjoy the fresh air, nature, and scenery. This time around, we visited the beautiful Muldersdrift, away from the busy city life, for a picnic in a bubble experience. Yitilawo.
A bubble picnic, when is it ideal? Maybe for a romantic occasion, friends, how many? Just take us through that.
It's very popular for romantic picnics. Like I was saying, it's an intimate space. It's just you and your person. You are in this bubble, literally. We have friends as well coming through. We've got family. We've had Mother's Days picnic, Father's Days. We had, kiddies' birthday parties, and they'll come through for a picnic. We have moonlight picnics, which is more romantic. I've had mostly for couples. So, yeah.
This thing is obviously inflating it requires air, right? And those things come with a lot of electricity, and we have load shedding issues. So how do you make sure that I'm a client, I've requested for you to do this whole picnic in a bubble setup, and to make sure that nothing ruins it? What are the safety measures?
So I have a small, well, not very small, but I've got an inverter that is very portable for me to put it in the car and take it anywhere that I want to go with. So in case of load shedding, we're still able to go ahead with our picnic. There really is nothing that will stand in your way. If it rains, you are in a bubble. It's even more romantic when it rains. So I don't see anything that will stop you from actually going ahead.
So this one, when picnic in a bubble, the weather, it's not dependent on the weather. Whether
No.
it rains, wind, we
Nothing.
are safe.
We are safe.
The picnic continues.
We'll go on.
Speaking of picnics, we are approaching summer, and
Yeah.
in summer, there are a lot of people who lean onto picnic celebrations, right? What other picnic things can you tell us about or remind us of that we can try in summer?
you know, there's a lot that you can do with picnics. The thing about it is that, you know, you don't have to stick to one thing. You can have a themed picnic. Come dressed up as in white. You can have baby reveal, gender reveal parties. You know, where you come and the decor will speak to whatever the gender is. We'll also put like balloons inside for the other person to find out what gender their baby is. There's quite a lot. There's Alice in Wonderland, where they do the whole decor, including balloons, and you know that will also match the food. So it's not only for adults and for romantic, you know, setup. We also including kids in this whole activity, because in most cases we do things just for us and we're forgetting about children and what they like. So we've got quite a lot of things that you can do, including the whole family.
Let's talk about the ambience is very important, eh? I feel like even if you have the most perfect idea that you've nailed the theme, but where you are doing that or having whatever event, especially a picnic in this case, is very important. What are the surroundings that I should look out for when I'm planning for a picnic? Whether it's in the backyard of my house or wherever, what things should I just consider? I would say, okay, if we have this might make my picnic much more enjoyable and fun.
We are in Joburg, but it does not even feel like we're in Joburg. It's green, it's beautiful. So there are quite a lot of things that we can do. If you're thinking of the outside, this will be ideal. If you want a surprise indoor for your partner, you can still do that. Have lights inside, even if it's in your room or your living room. You can make it nice with your fairy lights for that surprise romantic evening picnic. So it doesn't always have to be outside, because sometimes, you know, you don't find the right spots. There's the botanical garden not far from here. They do a lot of picnics there. It looks absolutely beautiful, but for me, water just calms me down.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming through. Cheers. Thank you so much.
The exploration and celebration that highlights the synergy and showcase of Turkish and African heritage is shining bright through fashion.
We are here, first of all, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the proclamation of the Republic of Turkey. On that occasion, this year is the 100th year of the proclamation. So we wanted to celebrate it by integrating Turkish and South African cultural and historical heritages. So we brought a fashion show all the way from Izmir. It's an institute that is a public institute established under the National Ministry of Education to promote Turkish culture and heritage. So all these clothes, they displayed today 24 costumes. And they're all handmade, like the one I'm wearing. And it takes a long time to do these, you know, golden and silk threads and all the designs.
What did you think about the pieces that you saw from the Turkish designer?
Whoa, man, those things takes like a year to make a dress. Like that thing is forever. We don't have the money to sit at home make those pieces actually, because it's very heavy, they thought about it a lot. There is a lot of layers. There's a lot of things that are happening there, and it's just a lot of craft. And most of the stuff is handmade. It's detailed.
Oh, it was lovely. It was beautiful. I absolutely love the fabrics and the detail that went into the Turkish embroidery. I believe some of them took over a year to make, but you could see the work that went into it. Texture, I think Turkey, for me, what I love the most about them is their texture, and it's very good. And I think that is what I love most, and that's why I'm here.
So we also wanted to promote South African design and fashion as well. So the second show was done by Urban Zulu, a famous South African designer. He did his show.
Tell us a bit about what inspired your collection of the items we got to see on stage today.
I think the collection today was a mix of Genesis, which is where Urban Zulu came from, and the future of urban Zulu. Where then the genesis was very bright and colorful, and the future was more black and white and subtle and monochrome-ish. So that's the transition that we are going through as a brand, without losing the genesis, which is the colorfulness, the African prints, moving into a space where we're coming with one color, with monochroming and easy structures, easy, not too much of layers, and just simple and everyday wearable pieces.
For you, what would you take from what you saw today and kind of implementing into your works?
I think, look, we're going into, for our brand, we more make clothes for the people. Listen, like, we want to get the clothes that are affordable for everyone, for black people, for African people, for Avant Basekas, you know. And I can take a little bit of what they have, but it won't serve me a lot much because of the fact that I'm trying to simplify my cuts so that it can be affordably making at a reasonable price, and I can price my garments at a reasonable price for the people to buy them. So I'm not not like one of those expensive brands. I'm more a brand that we can compare with the normal retailers in South Africa. And if someone has 900 bucks, 1.2, they can be able to afford an item.
Then we brought fabric from Turkey. With that fabric, we asked 2 South African designers to make their own clothes using Turkish textile. Then we also, here on mannequins, we wanted to exhibit the good quality Turkish textiles, the fabric. Also, we wanted to give the opportunity to a South African businesswoman who brings and sells Turkish ready-made clothes, garments. Here in Johannesburg, she has a store. So behind me, these are the Turkish clothes that she brought from Istanbul. It's oval touch.
It is a modern everyday wear. Mostly, all of it, actually, it's imported from Turkey. And this is a business I've been doing for a while. And simply because I love the quality of the garments and the feedback that you get from clients 5 years or 5 years later of the quality, buying things 5 years ago and they're saying it still looks good. And so that's why I participated. I met the ambassador, and when I told her I have a brand that is 100% Turkish, she couldn't believe it. And she came to the store and she saw, and like, everything is made in Turkey.
There was a lot of culture that came through those works that you spoke about. You said each garment that will come through will come from a different city within Turkey. Break down those cultures and mention some of those differences that one can see if like someone is just walking on a ramp.
Yes, for instance, we need to take into consideration the fact that the oldest fabric in the world was found 9,000 years ago in Anatolia. That's the Asian part of Turkey. So, different since then, fabric has been utilized and woven. The threads were woven in different styles and textures. So every city has a different style, I must say.
What does the future of Turkey fashion look like?
Of course, the garments that were exhibited here do not show modern Turkish fashion, obviously. But Turkish garments today always take part in, especially fashion shows in Europe. Milan, for instance, Paris, Rome, all these fashion shows, they take part. We have very good designers. But when we want to promote Turkish culture and heritage, we go for this style, which is very old and classic.
This encounter can only open more doors for many other fruitful relationships beyond this textile showcase.
Do join us again next week, same time, same place. Till then, goodbye.